and welcome to this week's edition of Random Shit. Random Guy, as always. I'm your host, Phil, and it is Wrestlemania week, and we are busy as shit here on RSRG Entertainment. We have been trying to give you guys some shorts, some videos. We got a ton more planned for this weekend, so make sure, if you're not already, subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification button so you know when we're live, like right now. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your family, tell everybody. RSRG Entertainment is the place to be. Random Shit, Random Guy, episode 11. WrestleMania 42 is here. But before we get into all that, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on here on the channel. We have a new video out right now. Recap. It is a toy video, and it's a toy haul from last week. It's what I picked up. This isn't going to be a weekly thing because there's some weeks I don't pick up stuff at all. There's some weeks I pick up a ton of stuff. It just happened to be a big week for me, and I picked up some stuff, and I wanted to share it with you guys to kick off WrestleMania week. We're live right now on Facebook. Not on Facebook. We are live right now on YouTube, and if you guys missed this out right now on the live feed, make sure you check us out later on. If you're watching right now, you've done that. So definitely want to say check out our other stuff as well. We have tons of shorts up. We try to put up 2 to 3 shorts a day. Just subscribe, share, help us grow as a channel. We have been very busy. Last weekend I didn't hit not one but 2 wrestling shows. That's right, 2 wrestling shows in the same weekend. I haven't done that in years. I attended the Appalachain Mountain Wrestling Weekend of Champions, Bloody Breath It in Jackson, Kentucky, and that was a blast. Appalachain Mountain Wrestling is pretty much my home promotion. If you guys haven't noticed, I do a lot of promoting for them. I'm not part of them, but they are friends of the channel, so I always try and help them out and talk a lot about them. And when I go to a show from now on, my goal is to get you guys footage, to make a vlog, to make you guys feel like you're a part of it. And this one is no exception. We have a full video of my full thoughts on the show and a full vlog this Saturday coming out. Or if it's in the past, hey, look up the 2026 Bloody Breath It vlog on the channel, and make sure you like that, subscribe it, and share it with your friends. That was a really cool show. I had never been to Breathitt County. Honestly, I spent more time in the mountains last month than I probably have in 10 years. I've been over to that side of the state literally just to go to Pikeville Comic-Con for the longest time. But this time I went to Jackson, Kentucky, as well as Pikeville. But before I get into the Pikeville show, I did want to give a little bit of thoughts just in case you don't take your time to go and watch that video. And you should, because there's some awesome footage that I shot from the second row. But just in case you don't, the show took place in Jackson, Kentucky, which is in Breathitt County at Breathitt County High School, where we saw Marty Clay retain his Appalachian Mountain Wrestling Championship over top of Wes Barker, his cousin, in a bloodbath, or in a bloody steel cage match where there was no exiting over the top. You couldn't get out the door. It was literally pinfall win only. I love when that happens. It's old school. Like, to me, going out the door WWE style is the stupidest shit I ever seen. I don't mind going over the top. Like, I think over the top's not bad, but it's either over the top, first one to hit the ground, where you actually have to climb the cage and then drop, or it needs to be pinfall submission. I love a good pinfall submission cage match, and that's what this was. It started out hot. These 2 cousins, they didn't even want, Wes didn't even want to get in the ring at first, and they ended up in the ring together, having an awesome match. Marty was bloody before he even got in the cage because Wes hit him in the head with the door before the bell even hit. So it was a great show. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you go to the Appalachain Mountain Wrestling page and watch their Showdown show from this past Tuesday. They have tons of footage from that, or go to Appalachain Mountain Wrestling or amwrestling.com, I believe is the website, and you can check out, you can literally buy the pay-per-view still. It's like $10. It's worth the money. It's a good time. Rhino and Heath were on the show taking on the Mad Taylor, and I forgot who his tag team partner was. That was a really fun match. If you guys have been following my shorts, you know Rhino literally took some kids' nachos and slammed them over the Mad Taylor's head. Took somebody's drink, knocked it over his head. They ended up in the crowd. It was a fun time. There was also a ladder match that opened the show. That's right. We opened the show with a ladder match, and we closed the show with a steel cage match. It was a fun show. There's five matches on the card. You'll see all that, and I'm going to be talking about it in detail this Saturday. So make sure you come back for that. I also made my way over to Pikeville, Kentucky, where I usually only go to Pikeville for the Pikeville Comic-Con, but that's not really a thing anymore. I went to the Pikeville. It took place in Pikeville. It was the Haulers and Heroes Con. I'm not sure the name of the comic shop that put that on. It was a nice little con. Nothing big. They did have several horror guests there. They had the original First Jason. He also performed after the wrestling show. I only went Friday night. It was a Friday and Saturday show, but it was fun. I did pick up some items. You guys saw those on my toy hunt haul, which if you haven't yet, make sure you go back and watch that. I picked up some cool shit there, and I had a good time. I met some cool people. There was a really awesome 3D printer booth there. The guy made some really cool signs. But what was my favorite part of his booth is he made the entry stage for Raw, and he also had an entry stage for Nitro. And the Nitro reminded me of the Nitro arena that I have in my personal collection from the Toy Biz days, but it also reminded me of what we were supposed to get from Mattel and never did. And this thing was huge. It was literally a $400 set. It was amazing. It was beautiful. I'm going to be doing a video for that, not this week, but next week. So I will talk about that more on next week's podcast. I want to kind of keep the vlogs to one a week because there is a lot of stuff going on, and I don't want to get you guys vlog heavy. And that was one of those shows that it doesn't matter as much for the storyline for me because I just went to the show and they did have wrestling there. What was cool about that show is I got to see Sandman in action, who's having his last match tomorrow against the Invisible Man. I don't know what to say about that other than the fact that GCW is always one of the headliners of Mania Week. So check out that if you are a fan of Joey Janela's Spring Break. That is where Sandman's last match is going to be. And Sandman was really the hit of the weekend, or not the weekend, of that show for me. He was talking to all the fans, having a good time. And then his music hits during the Battle Royal. And he comes out, does his traditional thing, literally comes up and stands right beside me in the stands. I got some cool videos of that. That's going to be part of a future vlog. Like I said, Shane Douglas was on the card. He tagged with, I think, some of his students. Eugene was on the card. That was really fun with his chicken dance. Black Dahlia from GCW was on the show getting tossed. She also came out again in the show. Evil Nate did double duty as Evil Nate and Buzzsaw. It was a really cool little show. It was, I had fun. I don't know that I would go back because that was a long drive for a small convention, but the wrestling show made up for what the actual convention itself lacked. I don't do autographs from celebrities, and it was a horror con mixed with wrestling. And while there were several wrestlers there, like Brutus Barber Beefcake was there. Let's see who else. It was Sandman, Heath and Rhino again. Saw them on back-to-back nights. Never thought I would say that. Friday night, Saturday night, Heath and Rhino. I got to see them have matches both nights. Both matches were great. I loved it. Heath and Rhino actually won the tag team championships of that promotion that was involved with Heroes and Haulers. So that was cool to see. I'm trying to go down the line. You had Sandman, Shane Douglas. The next day, Gangrel was there, but he wasn't there when I was there. They also had Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was on the show, and he is still doing the RK Bro gimmick, which, hey, more power to him. He had a great, his line was, there was always somebody there. Now, this wasn't like long lines, because this was a smaller convention, but they were consistent lines, and that's what's important. Is you don't have to have a long line. You don't have to go down the door, because people can actually spend more time with the guest and actually feel like they met somebody, as opposed to what you might get at a bigger convention. So the smaller conventions are nice for that. But yeah, it was a good show. There's tons of shorts out there. There's going to be more tomorrow. Definitely going to be posting more Sandman content all day tomorrow, since he will be in the news. So if you are a fan of ECW, this show was literally called Extreme Impact. I think you can see it on YouTube, but I will be doing a second vlog for that I'm going to record this week, but it's not going to come out till next week. A whole nother. Just stick around and make sure you are following this page. And like I said, right now we do have our toy haul video, but if you've been with us this long, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Tell your friends and invite more people to the live stream so that you guys can experience it and be a part of the chat. Let's get into the show. 15 minutes in, we're still not even talking wrestling. Let's get right to it. We got a lot to happen, and we're going to start off with what happened last night at All Elite Wrestling. Last night, All Elite Wrestling crowned a new heavyweight champion of the world in Darby Allin. Darby Allin has been a not day one, but almost day one guy for AEW, but he has been the face of that company since he got there. He has been hitting the convention circuit. If there's a media, he's there. If they need television, he's there. Darby has been an AEW guy from day one. Ever since he showed up with his match against Cody Rhodes, he has proven himself over and over and over that he is important to this company. And last night at Beach Break, he was crowned the AEW heavyweight champion of the world in his hometown of Seattle, with Sting in attendance. Sting has been off television and not doing the face paint on the circuit anymore, but he put on the paint one more time for Darby. And it was so fucking cool to see Darby. Darby did the it's showtime that Sting would do. And Sting's like, no, it's your time. And he went out there and 4 coffin drops, a nut shot, and a head choke, and now you got a brand new AEW champion. Now, I am seeing so much mixed reviews on whether Darby should or shouldn't be the champion. People think he's too small. He's not a good wrestler. I am not in that camp, man. I think Darby is fun. I think he is a good wrestler. He's a good mat wrestler when he has to be. Yes, he does a lot of stupid shit, but that stupid shit sells, and he sells all the damage that he takes, and he comes back and wins. And I think one of the main things people are not happy about is the fact that he did squash MJF. But they did set this up from the pay-per-view on last weekend that, hey, MJF's like, I'm going to go and I'm going radio silence. I'm turning my social media off. You will not hear from me until Dynamite on Wednesday. And as soon as he shows up to the show, you got Renee Paquette saying, hey, you have a match tonight right now with Darby Allin. Get in the ring. And he's like, no, I don't. You're crazy. And it's like, no, you do. So he goes in the ring, and Tony Khan comes over via Bryan Danielson and is like, you have a match tonight. It's going to be against Darby Allin. It's not going to happen right now. It's going to be the main event of the show. So in storyline, MJF only found out about it 2 hours before the match. And he tried cheating to win, like he always does, and it didn't work out for him. But Darby ended up doing a nut shot, which led to multiple coffin drops and a squash victory. When I saw how much time was left on the show, I was like, man, that's not a lot of time. I guess MJF's going to, storm right past him. But a part of me said, no, they're in his hometown. Originally, I thought they were going to do this at Double or Nothing, which would have made sense. And they might do it again at Double or Nothing. I don't have a problem with a short title reign. They did it with Samoa Joe. Max has had a decent one here. Max made most out of the minutes that he had. Like, never has MJF had more matches in this little span of being the champion and done more media and built this company up more and more. MJF literally sold this whole company in since January of this year. I think he got the title back at World's End, and then he held it up until now at Dynasty, and he did a lot for the company, man. Super Bowl week, he was everywhere, but so was Darby. So I don't think the MJF reign is over, but I do think they wanted to honor Darby Allin in his hometown. He's worked his ass off. He climbed Mount Everest just to plant the AEW flag at the top of it. So I definitely could see a short Darby Allin reign. And if so, that's fine. Because let's face it, in August at All In, whoever's got that title is going to lose that title to Will Ospreay. If they don't do that, that's the most obvious thing that's going to happen on AEW television, is the fact that you are going to crown a new champion at All In. And that champion is going to be Will Ospreay. So it makes the most sense that, hey, let's give Darby his reign, because once Will gets that title, there's a good chance he holds on to it for a very long time. He may even break Max's record. So in order to let Darby, who's earned his shot, have a good long run, you just got to make sure you pin the title on now. And what better time, like I said, that in his hometown, he may lose it. I don't know I think the next pay-per-view is Double or Nothing. It might be Forbidden Door. Hell, he might lose it on a Dynamite next week. Who knows? But the thing is people are talking about AEW right now during WrestleMania week. And that is the most important thing. Not only that, they've also launched a new web short series with Adult Swim that kicked off with none other than Darby Allin. I mean, how cool is that shit that AEW, the Adult Swim, are putting out a series called Tales from the Top Rope, and the day after you crown a new champion, he's the first guest. And he literally goes to hell and comes out ahead. Well, it doesn't say hell. He fights death and comes out like it's these are origin stories. And I think that's really cool. I mean, they've done the comics. You can see over my shoulder that they have AEW DC comics. So why not work with more of that Warner Brother property some synergy, as they might say, and put together a really cool show. These are like 3-minute shorts. I loved it. The art is really Darby Allin. I know there's one for the Young Bucks. There's also one for Timeless Tony Storm. I'm sure they have a Will Ospreay one. Like, it's narrated, and then at the end, the talent themselves join the episode. Is the way the Darby Allin one was set up. I really like it, especially because Darby had that cartoon for so long as a part of his show. And like I said, I'm a huge Darby Allin fan. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know today I posted pictures from not one, but 2 times I met Darby. One time I got a skateboard signed by Darby that my son painted for me. And Darby just was like the coolest about that. Wanted to meet him, was like, hey, where is he? He didn't come to the show, but Darby wanted to meet him just because, you know, he was a skateboarder. Darby's a skateboarder. And he painted that cool art. Darby's an artist. So Darby is really cool with the younger guys and the teenagers. He's really big with the kids. Like, I don't know how many shows I've been to where Darby Allin pulls a kid out of the front row that's painted just like him. Like, Darby has earned this. He's a great face of the company. And I loved that they had all the baby faces come out to celebrate with him and Sting come out. Some of those guys, I was like, it's like you could tell they didn't bring in everybody for the show because it is Mania week. And some of those talent are on those indie shows at Mania, which we talked about last week that people were getting pulled left and right from. But yeah, it's just that was the one thing I wanted to talk about. I mean, there was some other stuff that happened on the show, but that one title change is the thing that has been talked about the most in the last 24 hours leading into WrestleMania week, which is insane to me. Moving on to WrestleMania 42 taking place in Las Vegas this weekend. The talk of this whole thing and WWE as a whole has been the ticket sales. That it even become a storyline in the show that tickets weren't selling for certain reasons. And last week I even talked about how CM Punk was like, lower the damn ticket prices. So Nick Khan, the president of WWE, was out talking, helping promote the show, and he did some media, and he spoke with the Sporting Tribune. And Nick Khan basically put the blame for the high ticket prices on the fans who was willing to pay for high ticket prices and scalpers. They did not take any responsibility other than to be like, hey, if you guys are willing to pay more, we're going to charge more because we're not leaving a penny left on the table. He said that the market dictates the price, and the low ticket prices mean people are reselling the tickets, and that is cutting from the company's bottom dollar, and they will not have that. Their goal each year is to financially make more off of Mania than they did the year before, which is the perfect business move. But they don't care if that place is full. They would like it to be full and people not to be talking about ticket prices, but they do not give a fuck about anything involving ticket prices to fans. They do not care if you bring your kids to that show. As long as you buy enough tickets to make it more valuable, they could have 20 people in there and it sell for more. Like he talked about all these experiences and how they're doing so well because of, you know, people spending money for these one-on-one experiences with these superstars, or like the Cody Rhodes bus tour or dinner. I think it was with Liv Morgan. Like, people are spending crazy money, and I don't have a problem with that kind of stuff because if you got it and you want to waste it, go for it. But when it comes to actually getting into the show, there should be an affordable option to get in the show. You don't have to make the floor seats that cheap. It don't fucking matter. But those upper level seats or the, you know, boxes, anything above the press box level, like, make those affordable. Make it to where kids can go. Make it to where families can go. You know, like, I've never been to WrestleMania, and I probably never will go to WrestleMania. But you know how cool it would have been as a kid, if like someone was like, "Hey, we're going to WrestleMania. You're going," and I would. Okay, my first big show I ever went to was WCW Thunder in at Rep Arena, where the Kentucky Wildcats play basketball. And I was at the fucking top. And guess what? I was just as excited being on the top as a kid as I was when I sat on the floor as an adult at a live show. Like, because when you're a kid, it doesn't matter where you sit. You just want to experience it. But with these high ticket prices, no one can afford to bring their family. No one can buy, 5 tickets to WrestleMania. Sometimes they may leave the kids at home or like, but to me, it's like Nick Khan and Ari Emanuel do not give a fuck about the fans. So because of that, they're talking about, that tickets are more important to be sold at a higher price, because Nick Khan said, we're feeling good about this Mania. Last year we set records, which we set the year prior. So this year we think it's going to be close to that so that we can hit another milestone record, fingers crossed. And the way they've done that is, surprise, surprise, they lowered the ticket prices. And guess what happened when they lowered the goddamn ticket prices? They surged. People bought them. Now, I think it was people who were going to buy them anyways, but they're definitely buying them last minute, because it's like they were 25% off. They sold some tickets. Now, they did sell more tickets to Saturday than Sunday. Part of that is I think people were coming into Vegas Friday night, go Saturday, fly home on Sunday. Like, the 2-day Mania is great, but it's like if you got to work on Monday morning, you might not be able to do that. Or because, like, let's face it, Mania is not a 2-day event. It's a week event. Like, WWE The World started today. It goes tomorrow. You got SmackDown tomorrow. You got the WWE Hall of Fame tomorrow. You got Night 1 of WrestleMania tomorrow. You got the roast of... No, they're not doing the roast this year. You got Kill Tony WrestleMania tomorrow. You got... The World is tomorrow with talent that's not on the show. You got the World on Sunday. You got... I don't know what... I think that's about it. I think there's like an after show on Sunday. But then you got WrestleMania. I mean, you got the Raw after WrestleMania on Monday. So, like, it just... that you don't go to WrestleMania for a day. You go for the fucking week. And it's just... They've figured out a way to make a fuck ton of money in 5 days. And that's okay. Let them. But put on a good show. And I do think we're going to get a good Mania. I know I've talked a lot of shit about it. I definitely talked a lot of shit about Pat McAfee. And Cody Rhodes even leading on to this. Cody and Pat have kind of been selling this show. Like, Pat has been all over social media more than Show Speed ever is. It's just, it's really cool to, Pat is Pat. Now, I like Pat. Like I said before, I love the Pat McAfee show. I liked Pat on commentary. I just didn't think Pat was the guy for this spot. Pat turning heel out of nowhere, of all the people, it's just like the Pat McAfee effect just doesn't make sense for this. But because ESPN's involved, ESPN is very happy that Pat McAfee is involved. They are getting more coverage for their pay-per-view that they're paying a lot of money for, because they have Pat 5 days a week. They can bring on wrestlers onto the show. Pat can literally cut a promo 5 days a week to promote WrestleMania, that you can't have Cody Rhodes on there every week. But it is cool how they added Cody Rhodes, where Cody come in and destroyed the Thunderdome, destroyed pictures of Randy and him, and got his title back, because ever since last Friday, Pat McAfee has had Cody Rhodes' undisputed title sitting on the table at the Pat McAfee show. And Cody breaks in and gets it back. And I thought that was a cool way to get the title back to him before, because if not, it's going to be weird if Randy brought that title in, because I got a feeling that Randy's going to win that match, which I'm getting ready to get into all that. But if he was the guy to beat Cody Rhodes, but he brings the title in, that's just not a good visual. Cody needs the belt around his waist. They've got one more night of television that they have to sell. Tomorrow night, they have the final SmackDown, the go home show before Mania, especially for them because Cody is the main event of Saturday night. So that is definitely Friday night go home. Saturday, it's game time, baby. So I'm excited to see where the Mania card is, how it's going to play out, and who's going to be involved. Like, WrestleMania has been like, there's been so much going on this past week. Like I said, between the world today, they had the Mattel toy release, and some really cool figures were debuting, including an LJN Jelly Roll figure. Which, if you put a gun to my head and said, what figures are going to come out, and you got to be right, I would have been fucking dead because I would have never guessed an LJN Jelly Roll. Now, I did think they would do I did think they would do an Elite, but I thought they would do an Elite as like a ringside exclusive or Mattel Creations, but it seems like he's going to be in the main line, and I'm all for that. I probably won't get the LJN. The only LJN I have is the one above my head from the new line, and that is Dusty Rhodes because Dusty's my guy, and I literally only want LJN figures that fit the original LJN line. And I wasn't an LJN kid. Like, I have several, but like I didn't go out of my way to get them. Like, I went back and bought several Hasbro's, but I haven't went out of my way to get a ton of LJN figures. So when they brought this line back, I wasn't as excited about it. I was very excited about getting Dusty though. And my buddy Matt, who I'll talk about in my toy haul video this week, gifted me the Dusty for Christmas, and I could not be more thankful because I never saw Dusty in the store. I am a Dusty Rhodes guy. I think that's part of why I'm a Cody Rhodes guy. Over my shoulder, there's a little Cody squishy. I've got a Cody bottle of vodka. I have some Cody ice cream. I got the ice cream box back here. Like, I'm a Rhodes family guy. Now, I say that. I like Dustin and I like Goldust, but he was kind of a dick to me when I met him, so I'm not as much of a Dustin Rhodes guy, but I am a Cody Rhodes guy. But I will always be a Dusty Rhodes guy. I just got on a tangent that didn't need to happen. Let's get into this card. There's a lot going on. This is a 2-day card. It is 11 matches, I believe, in a 2-day span. And WrestleMania kicks off this Saturday, April the 18th, from Las Vegas, Nevada. And the first 2 hours of each, not 2 hours, the first 2 matches, which is the first hour of each show, will take place on ESPN and ESPN2 starting on Saturday. The matches will take place on ESPN2. That is opening day of WrestleMania. WrestleMania Night 1, Saturday's matches. The first 2 matches, which will be on ESPN2, include the 6-man tag match between Logan Paul, Austin Theory, IShowSpeed, the Usos, and LA Knight. The Vision is tag team champions with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. I think they're going to cheat to win this match. This is one, like, I'm glad LA Knight's getting on the card because he is a fan favorite and he doesn't have his one-on-one match. But this superstar style 6-man tag is a fun way to get him on the show, but it's also a fun way to bring in casuals to WrestleMania. You have Logan Paul and IShowSpeed in the same match. You have 2 YouTubers in the same match opening the show on ESPN. That's some great fucking marketing. Like, good job, WWE. Hand clap on that one. I think it's a great way to start that show with Logan Paul and IShowSpeed. Now, I think the Usos and LA Knight should win this match, but I don't think they will. I think you're going to see the Vision and IShowSpeed retain. And I think you're going to get started off the show with that. Now, last week's predictions, I did horrible, so I might do bad again. But I do think we're going to start this show off with a win from Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed. The second match that's going to be on ESPN2 is the unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. So you're going to start with some plunder. It's unsanctioned. That means anything goes. You're going to have some hardcore stuff on the WWE level. You're not going to get any blood because it's going to be on ESPN2. You're not going to get any blood because it's WWE, but it is an unsanctioned match. So the Jacob Fatu got taken out by Drew McIntyre. Jacob Fatu cost Drew McIntyre his title. He's got involved in a lot of stuff over the last year between Drew and Jacob, to the point where Drew McIntyre was like, I quit, I'm done, I'm out, and then he attacks Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu needs this win. So I'm going Jacob Fatu on ESPN2 to win the unsanctioned match. Now, we don't know the actual layout of the card once it starts other than the main event, so I'm just going to kind of go in order of what I have here for the remainder of the card. Night 1, Seth freaking Rollins and the career killer Gunther go one-on-one in what I think is going to be the best technical wrestling on this show. I think this one is going to steal it. Now, I don't think they're going to be what opens the actual show. It's tough because it's like what opens the show is going to be the Logan Paul and Austin Theory I Show Speed match, I believe. If not, it's going to be the Plunder match. Either way, one of those two, you're going to start off hot. You're going to keep going. So really, that is the start of WrestleMania. Because if you're watching the pay-per-view, it's just going to be going. The ESPN2 factor is not going to affect you at all. So it's not really going to matter. But I think you're going to see Seth Rollins and Gunther. I think Seth is on too much of a roll right now. He just come back from an injury. Now, they did say his shoulder's between 80 and 90%. I think he kind of rushed it to get back from Mania. That being said, I could see it's tough because like Gunther should win because Gunther's been on such a roll. But Seth's returning, and it's tough to not give that win to Seth Rollins after being taken out by the Division, and then him coming back, and then him stomping the Division and attacking Paul Heyman. Like, realistically, this should have been Seth Rollins versus oh, come on, what is his name? He's a member of the fucking Vision. Oh, shit. He's been off TV that long. That's why I forgot his name. It's Rick Steiner's kid. Yeah. That should have been the match. And I'm drawing a fucking blank right now. I've got to look that up because it's going to drive me nuts. Braun Breaker. Fuck, I'm stupid. This should have been Braun Breaker versus Drew McIntyre. Not Drew McIntyre. It should have been Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker got hurt. Seth got hurt. So we kind of pivoted the best way to pivot. Gunther don't have a match. Seth don't have a match. Let's put those two together. You're going to get a good match. It's not going to matter as much for storyline. Gunther can later on say, hey, Paul Heyman, you owe me, especially if he takes out Seth Rollins. But as of right now, he's saying he owes him anyway. I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Braun Breaker interfere in this match to help Gunther win. But I think Seth should win. So I'm going Seth Rollins, but I'm very iffy about that one. I'm going Seth over Gunther. Next on my card, I have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. This is my lock pick. This is the one if I'm wrong about this one, I'm wrong about everything. I do believe Becky Lynch is going to finally defeat AJ Lee. Becky's took too many pins from AJ. AJ hasn't defended the title very much, if at all. Becky has been such a strong Intercontinental Champion. I see Becky Lynch defeating AJ Lee. And I kind of thought they would have AJ on the same night as Punk, but I think that Punk likes to watch her matches from the bowl out with the fans, so I think that's why they're on separate nights. But I do think that this is going to be Becky Lynch's night to get the title back. Becky's heel work has been great. All the little names that she's been calling, she's basically been pulling the Trump style stuff. It's working for her, and I think it's been a lot of fun. It's really cool to see that they have 3 women's matches on night 1 of WrestleMania. That's more matches than AEW had on their pay-per-view because, well, I guess technically they had the women on the pre-show, but like on the main show, that's more matches, which is rare to say. The fact that you have the women's Intercontinental Championship on the line, the women's tag titles, and the women's world title on the same show is insane to me. I think one of the women I think they'll go women, men throughout the night. I wouldn't doubt if you saw the women's tag match be right after the 6-man, but if it is the 6-man, I wouldn't be shocked if you see Becky open that show. I don't know. There's so many options that could be opening the show, but I do think you're going to see a title swap there. I think Becky Lynch is taking that title home. Next up, I'm going to talk about the women's tag titles. It's a fatal 4-way match. Lash Legend and Nia Jax as the champions versus Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria and the Bella Twins. If the Bella Twins make it to this match, I think the Bella Twins are going to win the titles. Should they win the titles? No, but they want to grow a bigger audience, and the Bellas are the biggest name in this match other than Charlotte and Alexa. Now, if they wanted, who I think should win this match is Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, because Lyra Valkyria won it last year with Becky, and Bayley got kicked from the card. And I think the best way to pay respect to Bayley would be Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. But I think if the Bella Twins are healthy, you're going to see the Bella Twins win this match. So I'm going Bella Twins with an asterisk. If something happens and they don't make it to the match, then I see Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. No matter what, new champs. I think that's going to be the theme of this night. Up next, I'm going Women's World Championship from the Raw brand. You got Stephanie Valkyrie versus Liv Morgan. Again, new champ. Liv Morgan's winning that title. I wouldn't doubt every fucking title changes hands on night 1. I mean, that's how confident I am about this. I think night 2 might be different, but night 1, I think every title is going to swap. I think there's going to be 6 title changes on this card this weekend. So far I've got Becky over AJ. There's 1. I think you're going to have either the Bella Twins or Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. That's 2. Liv Morgan is going to defeat Stephanie Valkyrie for the title. They are pushing Liv to the fucking moon. They just gave her own music video. She did take that bump, which made people wonder if she was going to make it to WrestleMania. I mean, by bump, I mean she had a fucking goose egg on her head from where she hit that concrete. Well, no, she didn't hit the concrete. She hit Roxanne Perez, and then Roxanne Perez hit the concrete. It was nasty. Both of them were under concussion protocol. It was dirty. But the shit talking that Liv has done against Stephanie Valkyrie, Liv's just a bigger name. Liv earned all of this since coming back. I think she would come back at, was it SummerSlam? No. She came back to help Dom win the title, and I cannot remember when that was. I think it was when they were in San Diego, which would have been Survivor Series. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter. Since her return, she has been on a fucking roll. She won the Rumble. She's got the most appearances in the Rumble other than Natalya. and they're never going to push Natalya, so they're definitely got to push Liv Morgan here. And I think Liv is going to win and push forward the story of that's going to create more divide between the Judgment Day. I'm going to talk more about that on day 2's breakdown. And then last but not least, the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus the champion Randy Orton with Pat McAfee in his corner. I will be shocked if we do not see Jelly Roll show up during this match. I will be fucking shocked. I think Jelly is going to take out Pat, and that's what's going to make this a Randy versus Cody situation. Or maybe Jelly turns. Jelly's too much of a babyface. He ain't doing that, so. But Cody Rhodes is losing this title to Randy Orton no matter what. Like I said, excuse me. This is going to be every match on the card. I think they're going to lose their title. And because fans are getting over Cody. And Randy winning 15 is a story fans have got behind. Randy Orton as a heel, they love. I mean, it's crazy because going into this, they had a perfect story built. You had 2 members of Legacy going against each other. Cody says, I want the Viper. Randy starts to hear voices in his head again. He bloodies Cody so fucking early. Like, he pulls a rock and bloodies the shit out of Cody. Like, that's one thing Cody does not mind getting some color. And it leads to Randy, being on the phone. Everybody's like, who the fuck's on the phone? And it's sad that people were more excited about Ted DiBiase Jr. coming straight out of jail to come to this thing than they were for Pat McAfee. But my interest in this match when Pat showed up went down. Like, I think this is going to be a great match. I think Cody versus Randy is going to still not... I mean, if Seth versus Gunther isn't the main match of the show, it is going to be Cody and Randy. Because they both can put on great matches. Their performances are going to be awesome. I don't love that Pat McAfee's involved, and I don't love that Jelly Roll's going to probably be involved. I'm a Jelly Roll fan, man. I've got his album over there. Like, before he was involved in WWE, I was a huge fan. When he was fat as fuck like me, I was a huge fan. So, I don't want it to sound like, oh, I'm a Jelly hater, because I fucking love Jelly Roll. I do. But Jelly Roll should not be involved in the World Heavyweight, or the WWE Undisputed Championship match. He should not. Hell, you could have gave him and Pat a match. That would have been more exciting to me. Because, like, you have in Not One Alone, and this is the better selling ticket, evidently. You have Logan Paul, I Show Speed, Jelly Roll, and Pat McAfee. 4 celebrities, 1 night. Now, Jelly Roll's not confirmed, but he's all but confirmed. He's going to get involved in this match. So, to recap night 1, I have The Vision and I Show Speed over the Usos and LA Knight. I have Jacob Fatu over Drew McIntyre. I have Seth Rollins over Gunther. I have Becky defeating and becoming and new over AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental title. I have the Bellas with an asterisk that they will win the Women's Championships. If they do not, I think it will be Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I think Liv Morgan is going to defeat Stephanie Valkyria. And I think Randy Orton is going to get his 15th world title. And I also think he's going to beat John Cena's record at some point, but we have a while to get there. Night 2, we are rolling into this, and we are almost done. We are 5 matches away from finishing this card, but this card also starts on ESPN the first hour. And they are kicking off this show with what should be a beef on beef fucking meat match between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. And this should be the passing of the fucking torch where Brock Lesnar loses to Obafemi. And that sets up for Gunther to take him out to the pasture and Old Yeller his ass at SummerSlam. Obafemi's time is now. He's the biggest name that they've had and put on the best performances since Brock's debut. And I think it's perfect that Brock passes that fucking torch to Oba in Oba's first WrestleMania match. So I'm going Oba Femi over Brock Lesnar. And then the second match on this card is the ladder match. And this one should be the most fun of the weekend. You got Penta as the Intercontinental Champion versus Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus JD McFunko face McDuggan, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. Now, Rusev in a ladder match, it literally makes me scratch my head. But everybody else, holy shit. Penta lives for a ladder match. Like the first big AEW pay-per-view was Penta and Ray, the Lucha Brothers, versus the Young Bucks. Hell, there was even, I want to say at the original All In, it was Penta, Young Bucks, no, not Penta and Young Bucks, they were involved, but I think it was the Lucha Bros and Rey Mysterio up against the Young Bucks and somebody else. It's been a while since I watched that card. But anyways, you put Penta in a ladder match, you're going to have a great fucking ladder match. And it's going to be fun. But you also have luchadors like Dragon Lee. You have high flyers and young guys like Javon Evans. Rey Mysterio in his 50s in a ladder match. That's the question mark. Ray just come back from an injury and WWE is like, hey, Ray, we're not giving you Gunther. We're putting you in a ladder match. And he said that he was fucking excited when he found out. Like, I'm sure he was. Like, I would love to see. It would be cool to see Ray win the Intercontinental title and then Dom beat him for it back. But I really don't want that to happen. I'm going Penta retains. So Penta is going to keep that title and he's going to be holding it high over top of that stadium. Up next, I have the Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I think Dom is going to win this match, though Finn's career just keeps taking a hit. And I think they did a very poor job of promoting this match by having the Demon announce that he was going to be there in a fucking picture. Like, how much cooler would it have been? The stadium goes black. Some flames come up on the thing. And then Finn comes out in the makeup with the headdress and the Demon returns. He broke off from the Judgment Day recently. Like, how badass would that have been? That would have been sick. Like, but I think it's Dom Mysterio's time. I really wish Dom would turn babyface like he is in AAA. It's crazy to me that I love AAA more than I do WWE at this point, and that's weird for me to say because it's not like regular AAA. It's like AAA Light. Like, that's a whole nother story. But I would like to see. I think we're going to see Dominic Mysterio over Finn Balor. 3 more matches on the card. We have the WWE Women's Championship match. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. If Rhea does not beat Jade Cargill, I'm going to be pissed. Jade's had like 1 defense in 6 months. Jade has not improved any since her TNT days at AEW. She's not got any better. She should not be in the ring with Rhea Ripley. She never should have been the fucking champ. So I'm going Rhea Ripley over Jade Cargill. It's pretty simple. I think honestly that's going to be one of 2 title changes tonight. Like I said, I think I had 5 before, but there's definitely going to be 2 and at least 1. I'm going to go at least 1 title change there. Then you got United States Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. I wish this was Sami versus Trick versus I forgot the other guy's name. I'm drawing a fucking blank, but I wish this had been a 3-way match. That would have been a lot of fun. That would have been a cool match too, had they done it on a ladder match instead of the Intercontinental. The ladder match I wanted to see was the Women's Championship match, but you put all those luchadors in that Intercontinental ladder match, and traditionally there has been Intercontinental Championship ladder matches. That's where Cardona won his. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, I'm going. Ooh, I want to do a title change there, but there's been too many on the card. I think Sami Zayn's going to retain and then lose it the night after Mania. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to lose the title on Monday. And then the last match, your tribal chief versus the voice of the voiceless, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And as much as it hurts me to say this, I think Roman Reigns is going to defeat CM Punk. Roman's not had a title in a while. He's got a movie coming out. I hate to see that, though. I really do. But I think Roman's going to defeat CM Punk. Their promo started off strong, and then they started the your old bullshit, and it just kind of went downhill. But I do think Roman's going to beat CM Punk. Like, I think I would love to see Punk retain, but there's not a lot more he can do there or should do there. So him defeating Roman can set up them a rematch maybe at the next pay-per-view or move forward. I think it's time to give Roman back the title. Roman's never held the world heavyweight championship before, so it gives some validity to that title as well. It also adds more days to his overall reign. So I do think Roman Reigns is going to defeat CM Punk. But I'm going to go over this card one last time and then talk a couple indie matches, and then we're going to get out of here before the hour hits and we turn into fucking pumpkins. I have Obafemi over Brock Lesnar, Penta winning the 6-way ladder match, which includes Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental title. I have Dominic Mysterio over the Demon, Finn Balor. I have Rhea Ripley over Jade Cargill for the Women's World Championship, and Roman Reigns holding that hand up high with his one over CM Punk. I would not be shocked if we get a Bloodline reunion right there. So that's what I have for WrestleMania. There is some cool stuff. If you are a fan of wrestling, make sure you're checking out these other shows though. GCW has the clusterfuck after the first night, and they have some really cool matches. Like I said earlier, you have the Joey Janela Spring Break, which is always a fun one. So many awesome matches, so much going on. WrestleMania is not just WrestleMania. If you are in Vegas, you're probably not listening to this shit. But if you are, make sure you're hitting up some of those other things. There's literally events everywhere you turn. Like, I would love to go to Vegas just to be there for all the other events, and I wouldn't even care if I went to Mania. Like, I've said that the last couple of years, that I just want to be in the city for it. It's something special about it, and I'm just excited. WrestleMania 42 is this weekend, and I will have my popcorn ready. I got my garage beer ready for the weekend. I've got tons of Cody ice cream ready. Like, I'm going to get fat and watch wrestling this weekend, and I think you guys should too. But if you've made it this far into the show, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, tell your mother, tell your friends, tell everybody to come and subscribe, listen, and follow the RSRG Entertainment Podcast. Random Shit, Random Guy comes to you every Thursday with new videos coming out almost daily. A couple a week. I'm just gonna do it that way. A couple a week. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I don't know if we're eligible for any hot points, but if you want to send those our way, I'll fucking take them. Whatever it takes. Follow us on all of our social medias: X, Instagram, and TikTok at RSRG Podcast. We're on Facebook under RSRG Entertainment. I am ready for Mania. I am excited to sit down, watch some wrestling, and have a good time. Shut my brain off and have fun, but make sure you keep an eye on the channel. Like I said, we got the toy hunt video, the toy haul video up right now. It's on the main page. We have an Appalachain Mountain Wrestling review coming out on Saturday. Maybe a Hall of Fame video if I can get it done in time. If not, I'll put it out next week. Either way, got a lot going on. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I will see you next week. Have a happy Mania, everyone.